Hi, this is Mark Wade from CenterCityCondos.com, and in this podcast, I'd like to talk about the Murano condominiums at 2101 Market Street. It's a beautiful building. It's glass, 42 stories tall. It's a nice-looking building in the 19103 zip code. And I want to just give you a little bit of background and everything I know about the condominium based upon my experience of sales in the building. And here we go. Okay, so the plans for the building started around 2005. Marketing for the building started around 2006. And the first tenants to take occupancy was in 2008. Well, just about that time, the market went south in Philadelphia, as it did all over the country. And there was an auction. The auction was held in early 2009. So let's say the developer sold maybe about a third of the building out, maybe as much as 50% of the building. And then sales stalled. And so what they did is they hired Accelerated Marketing Partners, which is a big auction company, to come in and to auction off 40 of the units. And then it happened one Saturday. It was a good Saturday. I sold 4 units that day. But what was interesting was, in order to get the building going, to get life into the building, to get more sales and all that kind of stuff, the minute the first unit sold at the auction, it reset the pricing structure for the entire building. So if everything was selling for, $100, the minute the first condo sold, all the units now were selling for $80. Now, I mean, that's a gross generalization. What I'm suggesting is that all prices dropped 20% on the very first sale, and it reset the entire pricing structure for the building. So the people who had gone in the first, 30 to 40 to 50% of the buyers certainly weren't happy with that, but it was the reality of the market. It was what was necessary in order to get those sales moving, to get life into the building and things like that. So the Murano stands at 42 stories tall, 2101 Market Street, and it's a very nice modern building. There's a combination of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom condos. The top floors are the penthouse units, which are very nice and large. Sizes start at around 743 square feet for the smaller units. The largest unit in the building is 2,626 square feet. The building itself has a pool and a gym and on-site management and parking and a 24-hour doorman, and it's very modern. It's done nicely. There are a maximum of 7 units per floor, a total of 302 units in the condo building itself. The condo fees are going to include master insurance policy, doorman, water sewer, parking, pool, gym, heat, central air, because it's a 4-pipe system. Now, you pay for the little blower motor, the electric, to blow that into your condo, but the heat and the central air are included in your condo fees. Now, this building has no gas service to it, so it's all electric, which truly, when you're in a high-rise and someone's above you and below you and both sides of you, it's really inconsequential whether it's gas heat or it's electric heat. It doesn't matter. If it's gas or electric, doesn't matter. I mean, your utility bills in any high-rise in town are going to be fairly minimal based upon, as opposed to like living in a single-family house on the side of a hill out in, Havermore, PA, or God knows out in the suburbs somewhere. Who knows? But almost all units have small balconies to them. And what we've seen is, the building had, in my opinion, the building had some problems, like almost all new buildings in Philadelphia, getting off the ground. That's true, and that's a podcast in and of itself about how Philadelphians don't really warm up to new buildings. They like to watch buildings suffer, and they do, and it's true. I mean, if we go back in history, back to the Rittenhouse Hotel and Condos, to even, more recently to the Murano and the Phoenix and Waterfront Square and CU 257 and 10 Rittenhouse. These are all buildings that initially stumbled that have then turned into a huge success as far as value retention over the long haul, demand, and scarcity of inventory and things like that. So a nice building. We have seen values rise in the building over the past 2 or 3 years. As the building has fully sold out. 100%, 100% occupied, not 100% owner occupied, but 100% occupied. It does have a high owner occupancy ratio. There aren't a lot of tenants in the building. There are a fair number, but not an excessive amount. The pool is very nice. The gym is one of the best gyms in town, and I base that upon size and cleanliness and things like that. There is a common area on the 6th floor that has, the pool, the gym, but also a community room and a huge outdoor space for all the owners to use. Remaining tax abatement, which will expire probably around 2017, 2018, something like that. It is a pet-friendly building. Now, there may be restrictions on the size of the dogs, but it is dog-friendly. Again, doorman, on-site gym, parking's available. The not all 2 bedrooms in the building are created equal, because you've got the 06 and the 07 units, which are like 1,273 square feet, and you've got the 02 and the 03 units, which the curved glass wall, which is really beautiful, and those are more like 1,400 square feet. I think the most important thing, if we look at the Murano today, is that it has a very shortened, what I call DOM clock, days on market clock, where as opposed to a lot of other buildings in town, the units that are come up for resale at the Murano have a tendency to sell fairly quickly. And what I think the most interesting things are the 01 units. They're about 1,000 square foot, 1 bedroom, 1.5 baths, and the value of those things have been climbing. And boy, when one of those hits the market, it's gone very quickly. It doesn't take too long for that thing to for those things, the 01 units, to sell. But a nice building marked by higher demand than supply, and if you get an opportunity to take a look at it, I think it's worth a look. In my opinion, originally when the building was built, what I would hear from a lot of buyers is, "Oh, well, what about the location?" And I'm not sure about the location. I don't hear that anymore. I really don't. There's been a lot of infill. As far as new buildings in between, let's say, Rittenhouse Square and the Murano, which have kind of bridged the gap. So we've got, that mindset, the old original mindset back in 2008 where, this building kind of is a standalone and there's nothing really around it. Those thoughts, basically, I just don't hear that from my buyers anymore. I mean, there's a Trader Joe's right next door, which is really nice. So you've got a lot of infill. The location, in the eyes of many buyers, has gained a lot of acceptance. So this building is also, the 1 bedroom is very popular with those U of Penn folks, just due to the proximity. The Murano does not have a shuttle bus, but it is centrally located. Almost every unit in the building has parking. Almost every unit in the building has a small little storage area. And well run, a clean building. When I go in and with my clients, almost all clients will always remark that it's a clean, appears to be a well-managed building. The front desk people are always nice, and so a real good alternative or property in the very coveted 19103 zip code. So if you have an opportunity, pick up the telephone, push the buttons on the front of it, give me a call. Let's go look at some units at the Murano, 2101 Market Street. And again, a variety of sizes from 743 square feet up to 2626 square feet. You might be surprised what you see. Anyway, this is Mark Wade. Questions, comments, concerns, 215-521-1523. See ya.